Burn God, you know it. What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards, and welcome to the Soccer Comic Rant. And this podcast is on the All Things Comedy network of tons of podcasts with a lot of dope comics by Bert Kreischer, Bill Burr, Sam Tripoli, Tiger Belly. Yeah, I need to look at the wall. And just, go to allthingscomedy.com and you'll see a bunch of podcasts there from some of the top comics in the country. And make it your home. And my podcast is there, Soccer Comic Rant. And you can also listen to this podcast on SoundCloud, Libsyn, Stitcher, iTunes, and you could watch it if you're not watching it right now on YouTube. Just type in Ian Edwards. It'll come up. Subscribe, smash the like button, all that shit that YouTubers ask you to do that I have to watch their YouTube videos to learn how to do. All right. And the sponsor for the podcast is onthevolleyapparel.com. And if you go to onthevolleyapparel.com, you'll see tanks, t-shirts, and hoodies and sweatshirts. And they have these great designs on the front that are a combination of hip-hop and soccer. They have the Tribe Called Quest right there. You see in the picture. I'm looking at a screen in front of me. So, boom, that's the Tribe Called Quest. That's pretty lit. So to get a t-shirt or a hoodie or a sweatshirt with that, Christmas is coming too. Go there. And they got other stuff. They have the Wu-Tang joint. It's like the Wu-Tang symbol with the soccer pitch on it. That is fire. That's pretty creative. And just scroll through and use my promo code Comic Rant and get 20% off. And that one's dope too. I like that one. Yeah. I got to go there and get some shit. I haven't got some stuff from them in a while. So go to onthevolleyapparel.com, use my promo code Comic Rant, and boom, 20% off. And I'm with my guest host today, AJ Faji. Did I say Faji right?
Yeah.
Oh, I said right.
Yeah.
And oh shit, you put the headphones on, so it's kind of hiding your. He's having a terrible hair day.
We gonna keep
AJ's having a terrible hair day. I mean,
basically what happened was it was growing in a little bit, and I thought maybe there was hope. Like in natural light, it looks like there might be hope, but on these fluorescent joints, I don't. The battle is lost.
Well, the problem is, when I came in, you were sitting down. How tall are you?
6'6".
6'6".
Yeah.
So when you're standing up, to me, you look like a fool. You got a full head of hair. Yeah. But when I came in, you were sitting down. I was like, oh shit, this nigga is losing his hair. He's losing hair follicles more faster than Arsenal is losing games.
Oh, wow. Wow. I just shoehorned that one in there. Okay.
And he's an Arsenal fan. Okay. So, like, he personally, physically, and emotionally knows what it's like to be in that locker room right now.
Oh, my gosh. It's such trash.
You got to fire Unai Emery as your hairdresser. That's what you need to do.
That dude
if you want to keep your hair, bro.
Oh, man.
It's not his fault. It's the whole organization's fault.
Well, I think it's definitely the organization as a whole. First of all, giving like £350,000 a week to Mesut was just terrible decision making for anybody. Really? But yeah, and they're kind of dealing with the aftermath of all that type of stuff. But Unai is definitely a part of the problem too, because he keeps insisting on doing certain things that Arsenal's not good at, and keeps trying to play certain places.
Playing the ball out the back.
Yeah, I mean the ball out the back, I think is good to mix it up, but by playing certain formations and playing Xhaka constantly is.
Well, Xhaka hasn't played in the last 2 games, so they can't blame him for that.
Yeah, but the thing is that we were probably always gonna lose to Leicester. Is just kind of how it was going to go.
Well, let me start with the top game of the week, and then we will definitely
so
land
Arsenal
on Arsenal.
Isn't top billing anymore?
Nah. You know what's funny? I watched Match of the Day.
Yeah.
And they dissed Man U, and they dissed Arsenal. So both teams played on different episodes of Match of the Day.
Oh yeah.
So for the one that Arsenal played on, they were like, let's go to a team in the top 4. Let's go to a team in the top 4 versus Arsenal.
Wow.
So Arsenal is synonymous with the top 4.
Yeah.
So they were talking about Leicester playing you guys.
Yeah.
And then for Man U, we played on Sunday.
Yeah.
And right before the Liverpool versus Man City game.
Yeah.
And then they were like, so the top game of the day is Manchester United versus, we're just kidding, Liverpool versus Man City.
It sounds like some Men in Blazers shit. Like who's around back there?
They got Men in Blazers writers writing disses.
just write little jibes. No, I mean both our teams are trash, so that's kind of comforting.
We'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, top billing again. I'm taking us off topic.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm not saying. Well, I'll address that. I'll address that. But the top game for the week was Liverpool versus Man City. A huge game with big ramifications in this battle for the top of the table. Yeah.
I actually watched that one, and I never watched any games that Arsenal isn't playing in.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
How do you just... Some fans are like that.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like there's a Premier League. I understand you're rooting for your team, and I understand people being focused on their team, but I need to know the whole story.
You know
the
everything.
Whole context.
You want to know what
because it's a whole
Burnley and
soap opera.
Bournemouth are up to.
Yeah, because so when they come to play me, I know what we should do against them.
Okay, but you're not gonna make that call though.
No. But as far as like
how they should be playing,
not even how we should be playing, but where they are in the table.
Yeah.
And be aware of who they are, how they're doing. Like if you just watch Arsenal games, and if you did you know where Leicester was in the table compared to you guys before?
Yeah. The thing is, it's like I only focus on Arsenal, but somehow I always get all of this other information through osmosis. It just kind of happens.
Yeah,
like I know,
football.
I know Vardy's the top scorer in the league. I know that they have a new young guy who's the defender that we should have probably gotten. A defender
we should have probably gotten instead of spending all that money for.
Yeah, on the other guy. Yeah, Jun Yuku.
Shunju, something.
Some Asian sounding name, but he's definitely not Asian.
He's not Asian. Yeah. He's Turkish.
Yeah.
So tell me your thoughts on this Liverpool Man City. There was a lot of controversy in the game.
Yeah.
Liverpool won the game, I think 3-1.
They won the game 3-1. Goals from Salah, what was it? Salah, Mane, and from Fabinho.
Fabinho, yes.
Fabinho.
Jesus.
That was a crazy strike. But like it's one of those things to where the first penalty call, that was kind of one of those ones that it's like if the ref sees it, then yeah, but if he doesn't, then no. So when VAR didn't give it to him, I was totally fine with that.
So let's discuss that point. So you're talking about the penalty call on Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? So to me, the people who run VAR are not helping themselves.
Yeah.
Because he kind of did make the motion.
Yeah, he kind of did make the motion towards the ball.
The ball, right, with his hands, and it was in an unnatural position.
Yeah.
And they didn't call it.
Yeah.
But they said, but the thing that could have saved them, like that ball was first handled by Bernardo Silva, an attacking Man City player.
Yeah.
So it went off his hand to Trent's hand.
Yeah.
So if a handball, I say this is what you could say.
Double handball.
A double handball. Yeah. But if a Man City handball from an offensive player can't cause a penalty on another, if the ball goes directly from this hand to the defensive player's hand, that means a handball would help you score a goal, which is against the rules.
Yeah.
So they could have said that, but they said Bernardo Silva handling the ball had nothing to do with them not calling it a handball on Trent Alexander.
Yeah.
I don't know why it has so many names.
Yeah.
Fucking, Arnold Silva, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Just slow down, bro.
Yeah.
You're great, but slow the fuck down with these names.
Yeah, man. No, but like, so yeah, it was one of those things to where I don't think, like, even with the rules, the way VAR is stated, for VAR to overturn something must be like a clear miscue by the referee. So that isn't one of those ones that's clear, cut and dried. Conversely to what happened to Arsenal the other week, that they overturned a goal and I still don't know what the foul was. I honestly still don't know. I honestly still don't know. But anyway, that's just me being upset about that.
Yeah, you are.
But then they went on and they scored the goal. And to be honest, like, them getting the goal helped them on and push on in the game and open the game up. But really, the way that game was being played, it looked like Liverpool was gonna win anyway. They were going at them and they were like clinical in the final third. Any smell of a goal, they took that shit.
Right.
So it's like, I think they deserve to win regardless.
Well, I'm just gonna go back to that play, and like when you chase down the ref. First of all, you already indicated like Sergio Aguero. You already indicated to the ref that it's a handball. Get back in the game.
Right.
You know VAR is going to definitely be looking at that play.
Yeah.
And the rest of the Man City players, this is too big of a game for you not to be playing to the whistle.
Yeah.
Instead of your wishes or your demands or your desires for the whistle to be blown. So you can't chase the ref. You got to chase the ball. And this is Liverpool. They're relentless. They got something for you. And it's not something you want. So it's like you got to make sure you don't give them this opportunity. And then they went right up the field.
And scored.
And Fabinho, man.
That was a hell of a strike. Like that was like that was one of those ones that the goalkeeper doesn't even try for, because it's like if
he tried.
Yeah, but I'm saying nowhere. He was never gonna stop that.
Yeah, you don't know until you're watching the tape later and say, "Man, I look stupid."
Yeah, he just a foot short, not even close.
I mean, that was a perfect strike.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing. Which is why it was one of those things. That game, it just seemed like the ether, everything was going for Liverpool that day. Like that, like even the calls, it just, but like that's just. That it seemed like that's what's gonna always happen. Plus, it's Anfield. It's not like people are just rolling through Anfield and getting points. It's been what, 2017? 2017 was the last time Liverpool lost at Anfield. Like, so it's like it's not.
But
like,
if anybody could beat them there,
probably Man City. Yeah, right. But then I don't know. It just seemed like it was in the stars. Plus, Man City were injured and stuff. Second goal.
And that's the advantage. Yeah. So there's a few things Klopp did that I don't understand. Starting Lovren when Gomez is on the bench doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if Gomez is coming back from an injury, but Gomez is definitely better than Lovren. So this is a very important game for you to like putting a player in your lineup.
Did Gomez play in some your Champions League game?
Still wouldn't matter to me. Yeah. I would have played Lovren in the European and then this. You know what I mean? But that's kind of confusing. And then I guess you can win when Stones is in your defense for Man City. Yeah. Fernandinho, who's one of the best holding midfielders, is back in defense. Yeah. And they put in their new guy, Tassende. Tassende.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, it's a new left back. So they had some injuries back there. Yeah. So
they didn't have the best. They weren't in the best place. Going forward, they're all as always they're lethal. But like the defense for Man City is just, it kind of adds up after a while. You're not the goalkeeper there, so there's gonna be less organization with the back line. The two defenders that aren't normally part of the regular setup. So yeah.
Liverpool put out most of the players that they would want to start in this game. Yeah. And Man City were not able to field the team with the players in the positions that they would want to play them in for this game. Exactly. And Fabinho, Henderson, and Wijnaldum just worked that Man City midfield. They ran for days. They're still out there running right now.
The thing is, like, whenever I see that team play, I'm always just like, why can't Arsenal, like, I don't think the guys that we
have.
Why
can't Arsenal finish the sentence?
Okay, I said, like, why can't Arsenal like chase the ball down that way and like have that same amount of work? I know they're not as skillful, but they can at least work as hard as these other people. But they're not even doing that.
This look on my face is like you
don't think it's possible? Honestly,
you have to have the personnel for that system. Like I've wished that same thing. Yeah. Like Man United actually wins the ball almost as much, but when they get it, what they do with it is just give it right back. Yeah. Because they have no clue. Yeah. Like if you look at all our games, like, you have to have the players. Like Wijnaldum is just like underrated, and he's getting the respect now, but genius. And then Henderson, who was going to be like the new Liverpool guy and fell off a few years ago, but is now back. Like that cross that he put into Sadio Mane at the end of the game to make it 3-1.
Yeah.
That's like just
It's a
wrecking
rocket.
shop. Yeah, and it's just and Fabinho. Like, and they got other bench players that they didn't even use.
I mean, they have Origi, they have Oxlade-Chamberlain on the bench. They have
Naby Keita. If you think Naby Keita wouldn't come in and do a great job and be a good Firmino or a good Ronaldo, and they have
Keita's like a Champions League player on most other teams. It's just because he's from Liverpool to that.
And they got Milner. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Steady hand. You can play back or midfield, and it's just in shape and just ready to go and experience. So and they have Oxlade-Chamberlain who did get it. So it's just like this. They're just stacked, bro.
Yeah, they kind of.
Yeah, and but so is.
I totally understand why they didn't buy any players in the offseason. Yeah, it's like what are you gonna improve upon? Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know how they lucked out with having both their left back and right backs come into essentially their prime at a young age like that, because it's like
good coaching, good training, good scouting.
But the thing is that like you can't coach a player to have that kind of engine like those two fullbacks have.
Apparently he did.
I mean,
like, let me answer your question. Like Klopp is good at finding people. When he's at Borussia Dortmund,
that's true.
He took them out of nowhere and had a bunch of players.
Borussia Dortmund.
Let me finish. Had a bunch of players that Bayern Munich bought off them to stop them from being more powerful, like Lewandowski and Götze and Roos, and they just had to, they have bought Dortmund and put them on Bayern, and some of those players have gone back to Dortmund, but Dortmund has sold players. They sold Pulisic. And they've
Aubameyang.
Did they have? Yeah, they have Aubameyang. That's one of those teams that finds players
like
constantly. They had Dembele, the one that's at, and they're still like towards the top. They lost to Bayern this weekend, but they find motherfuckers, man. Yeah, they have a system in place
because they're kind of like a selling team. So it's one of those things to where like a team like Borussia Dortmund or a team like Southampton, players know that players that are on their brink, like these type of players that it's like they're great, but they just haven't had the chance to shine on the main stage. They go there because they know that those teams are essentially the fountain to teams like Man U or whatever. On the Bundesliga it would be Bayern type of thing. They go there, they ball out, and then players like Mkhitaryan come out of there and then go and get on Man U from there type of deal.
I think to answer your question, whatever Klopp learned at Dortmund, he brought that shit to Liverpool.
Yeah,
but to just talk about these two players, like there was one goal where they pinged it across the field to each other like tennis.
Yeah.
And then I think Robertson made the cross to Salah, and Salah was a little offside. Like of all the offsides that VAR called or didn't call this weekend, Salah was a little offside.
For his goal?
Yeah, for his goal, yeah. There was an offside in the Sheffield United game that they call. I'm like, come on, let that go.
Yeah.
But Salah was, but I understand if they don't call that one, sorry. But just the ability, the amount of assists that these two dudes get, like it's a cheat because you have these backs
both talented
who are doing midfield shit. Yeah. But they're doing their back job.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like you basically have two backs that are kind of like having N'Golo Kante at fullback, where people like they can get up the field and cross it and get back and run defense at the same time. Even like coaching, but you can't make somebody's heart work and have that type of an output.
You just have to pick the right people, tell them the speech, and see if they buy it.
The speech.
Tell them the speech. This is our sales pitch. This is what we want to do.
Call to arms.
Klopp has the ability, and so does Pep, to tell people what they want, and people deliver.
I would say Klopp more than Pep in terms because Pep kind of buys. Well, of late Klopp too, but Pep kind of buys the players that are gonna be able to execute what he wants.
Yeah, but I
don't see him finding guys like that.
When he went to Man City, he had to sell all the players on his philosophy,
right?
Which was different from their coach before, and Sterling and all these guys boarding on this philosophy. At first, Sergio Aguero didn't. He wasn't like the type of forward to come back and help you press.
Defense,
But then he wasn't playing, and then he got into it, and now he's been really successful. And then he brought in Sané, And so he's doing it too.
Yeah.
You know, and he's won 2 titles, and to win the title the first time with an impressive like lead, and then the second time to like just hold off Liverpool.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good
100
seller.
points in that first one.
Yeah.
He definitely is, but I'm saying he's a good buyer more than
He's both.
Yeah.
I think he's both.
But the thing is, like, you those players and that scheme he's selling them on, essentially, is Pep Guardiola. He's selling them on an attacking scheme. He's selling them on attacking players on an attacking scheme.
No, he's selling attacking players on a defensive scheme.
Well, from the tracking back thing, yes, there's that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not like a Jose Mourinho type football where they're trying to get one goal and shut the game down from there. It's like they still want to attack and be moving forward. So when attacking players can score goals, they're always going to be into that.
Yeah, but you got to sell them on it.
On scoring goals?
No, on defending. Like, like that's the last thing. You know, you are a glory boy. You run out there, you want to score, you want to celebrate, and you've done that. You won 2 titles.
Yeah.
Then this coach comes in and says, "Hey, man, I'm going to put you on the bench, and I did put some of you on the bench if you don't come back and tackle."
Right.
And you're like, "Man, I got titles too."
Yeah.
And but he's Pep. They've seen Messi do it, so it's like you have no excuse not to do it. Like he brought shit with him.
Yeah.
To convince people.
Yeah.
And he has more championships than they all have. So it's like, fuck it, we gotta listen to this guy.
Yeah, you gotta listen. Who besides Aguero, is there anybody else that wasn't buying into the philosophy when he first came? Because I think it was only Aguero. That was
maybe just Aguero. Yeah. But he had to make the example out of Aguero to make Aguero, like his guy now. And Aguero is, I said it on the last show, Aguero is in this position where he's getting older, but he's not. His scoring
hasn't really teetered off yet.
Hasn't aged. Yeah. And then Gabriel Jesus is on the bench like, "Hey, man, you brought me from Brazil for this shit. To watch this, to sit down every Sunday and watch this guy play? Yeah. Like, this is bullshit. I want to get in the game. Yeah. I didn't come here for free tickets to like a Man City games. Yeah. I could do this somewhere else and actually play." Yeah. Yeah. So
I think he'd be wise to stay there, though.
Yeah, he'll stay. Yeah. But, and
learn from Aguero.
Yeah. He'll stay. And once he starts playing, unless Pep gets somebody to replace as his backup that's better, then, yeah.
But they might, because that team is always finding stuff. Oh, man. Why isn't... Oh, I'm not even going to get into it.
So let's see who we want to talk about. So that game pretty much covered. And yeah, Liverpool got lucky with some calls in that game. Yeah. But they also worked for it. And I wouldn't have given the first handball. I wouldn't have given the second handball when Sterling kicked the ball and it hit. That's like... No,
that wasn't... that was like what you'd call a ball to hand. But they just don't do that anymore because of the VAR situation.
It wasn't a clear and... it wasn't something that... a mistake that the ref overlooked. And so, boom. Liverpool beat Man City, and they're how many points ahead of the... We'll go
9 points ahead of...
9 points ahead.
Of Man City now. 8 points ahead of Chelsea and Leicester.
Yeah. So I guess the next big game between the 2 biggest teams would be Leicester versus Arsenal. And Leicester beats Arsenal 2-0. Yeah. And what happened? And what's going on with you guys?
Okay, so there's a lot that's been going on, but at the core of it, the team is just not that good. But on top of that, the coach isn't particularly good at getting his players to execute whatever it is that he's trying to get them to do. Or maybe they just don't have enough talent.
What is he trying to get them to do? He
wants them to play controlled possession football.
Which is what Wenger had them doing.
Yeah. But Wenger was more an attacking only. Then he'll get his side coach. He'll get like Steve Bull to run the defense type of thing. He didn't really care about it. But so like he's trying to get them a more controlled position. He essentially kind of wants them to play like Liverpool. Like you've been seeing a lot of 4-3-3s this year, which is something Arsenal has never really done regularly that I've ever seen. And then so you've been seeing that. But the thing is that like when it comes to us, we just don't have the personnel. Like our defensive
I agree with you
midfielder.
100%.
Yeah.
What defensive midfielder?
Yeah,
You don't have none of those.
Yeah,
You have guys pretending to be defensive midfielder.
No,
Terrible actors.
We have one
Who?
that is the Uruguayan defensive midfielder, Lucas Torreira. Yeah.
Oh man, I saw him got abused ragdoll style this week and several weeks. What? He's not.
But you see, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's
you
like,
know what he looks like?
Who?
In the movie where the guy says to the woman, "I'm leaving." And he starts walking towards the door, and then she holds on to his foot, and the guy drags her to the door as she holds on. That's what Torreira looks. So if that's your defensive midfielder.
I feel like that's a lot of movie stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of, and it's happened to him a lot of games.
You know the thing? It's like he's one of those guys that it's like he's a good defensive midfielder if the ball is on the ground. He's just small. He can tackle.
So
he can do everything. That's what I'm saying.
It.
He's not. So it's like
I saw somebody run around him this week.
Yeah. Whenever it's an aerial thing, or it's like whenever it's just a dude that's just significantly bigger, they just go straight through him.
You guys spent money in the last. Yeah, you still have some good academy players. I seen come through.
Yeah.
Young guys.
You got Bukayo Saka, Willock,
but they're all attacking. You guys only apparently focus on attacking. Yeah. And then when you buy to the point where you don't even know how to buy a good defender.
Right. That's the thing. I don't know.
Do you bought a defender from Chelsea who attacks?
Exactly.
You're like, that's a good defender. Yeah. We need a defense. But you got one that attacks. It's like, nah, that's not going to help. You need a defender.
Yeah.
Because and Kolasinac he's good when he's going forward. Bellerin is good when he's going forward.
The only one that might be good is Tierney, but like they haven't given him enough playing time. Another issue with you see the Emery thing. He played him in the Europa League instead of playing him in this game.
Did you win the Europa League this
No, we tied that game. We tied that
okay.
game. We tied that game. And then on top of that, now he didn't play because they played him for the whole 90 minutes. And they didn't play him. And they played Kolasinac, the obviously worst defensive option at left back.
I thought the other Greek
fullback.
Oh, I thought the Greek guy, what's his name?
Socrates.
Yeah, I thought he was your worst dude.
Yeah, he didn't play in the game. He didn't play in that game. But yeah, he's not that solid either. You know what they did at Arsenal is like they set it up to where next year we might have some defensive like. The Saliba guy will be in for us next year, but I don't know.
Where is he at now?
He's at Saint Etienne.
So you bought him?
Yeah, and then load him out for
he's on layaway.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
it's essentially for like a loan program is what they did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So like the defense is just trash. The defensive midfielders is either Xhaka or Torreira. Either of those players, whenever they're on the field. Torreira probably does a better defensive job, and Xhaka does better with like sending long balls forward and things like that. But the creativity in the middle of the park kind of just dies whenever those guys are on the field. Guendouzi will bring it up a bit more, but he's not that strong either. Like people just move him around off the ball.
I like Guendouzi. I'd love him to be on our team.
I like him, but I'm saying he's not. But
he doesn't
there.
have a great defense.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when somebody's running past him with the ball, he just kind of glides toward them, type of deal. Like and then. Yeah, when Ozil.
So what about in this game? And what did you have a problem with Ozil in this game?
With this game, it's the problem you have with Ozil in every big game. Ozil is a world-class midfielder on one side of the ball. On the other side of the ball, he's 100% liability.
Well, football changed on him.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah. Because people don't do the number 10 anymore.
Because he's a 10.
Yeah.
And but 10s, when he was a 10 a few years ago. It was fine to be the type of 10 he was. Now they want a Firmino 10.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They want a Firmino 10.
Yeah.
They want, and then he's like, where yo?
10's track back
We're not doing.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I just focus on one thing and then everybody else.
No luxury 10s no more.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. He'll be a great player if he was on Real or Barca, places where you have great players around, but when you're on a team that's struggling, like a team that's bad out of possession.
The problem with Ozil is that he's on Arsenal, a team that doesn't have great defensive midfielders or a great defense. So you can blame him.
Weaknesses show.
So when he doesn't track back, you can blame him, but it's not really his fault. It's who you as an organization. Let me finish. Mm-hmm. It's who you as an organization brought in to coach a team and also bought in the last few years. The defenders you bought in the last few years are all pretty much trash.
Yeah.
And to have such mediocre defenders all together in one defense, and your best defender, who was even older, left.
Yeah.
And shed his shirt in front of your faces, and then this lack of a defensive midfield.
Yeah, it's all bad on that side of the ball for Arsenal. It's all bad. Now, the Ozil thing, yeah, you could say, is it his fault? But at the same time, you could also say it's his fault for not being able to evolve. Like we just said, Aguero evolved. Yeah. He figured out a way. Ozil, like you could see, it's the same thing. He's kind of like whenever somebody else has the ball, like whenever he's on the defensive side, they're always talking about his run maps and all that bullshit. But it's like he'll run there, but he doesn't really do anything when he gets there. He's just kind of like, like soft and like just they pass it around him. He just gets there. He doesn't actually tackle or do anything. So it's one of those things to where he's a very sensitive guy. Yeah, he's soft. He's soft in heart and in body, unfortunately.
Do you want to give Leicester any props in DD for running the midfield?
Leicester.
Do you want to give Jamie Vardy, who is a highlight reel of finishing?
Yeah.
Like he might not have right now. He's tied at the top, or he's at the top of the league for scoring.
Yeah.
But if you look at Vardy's goals just over the years, and this year, they're all like every year, every season, he scores 10 goals that would be anybody's highlight reel for goals for their career. Like the goals that he scores are pretty amazing.
He has some good goals.
He has a lot of good goals.
But I think a lot of his goals are a lot of Aubameyang type goals where they just kind of use their speed to kind of get on the end of a ball.
But when you're using your speed and you're in full control of the ball, and you have a goalkeeper either coming out that you have to chip, or just the way sometimes a ball bounces and he just one time bangs it and it loops over the keeper and goes in the corner of the net, and just or a few weeks ago, like he got the ball in a tight space, it hit his foot, looped up, turned around, banged it in the back of it, just like, and this one just one-timed it into the opposite corner of the net. Like
he's in a great run of form. He's in a great
20 goals in 22 games since Brendan Rodgers has been there.
He's in a great run of form.
You're definitely accurate about that, and he continued that run of form against you Gunners. Shouldn't they take Gunners off your name now, because y'all haven't shot shit?
So then what are y'all, the Red Angels now?
yeah, pretty much. I don't mind that.
Toothless ass devils.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah.
Gummy devils.
Yeah.
All gums.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just I don't know. My team just kind of sucks right now. It just.
Well, let's
going forward.
Let's focus. What is Leicester a better team on paper than you guys?
Leicester is definitely not a better team on paper, but Leicester is a much better drilled team. Leicester is a better coached team.
Right.
That's what I mean when I say.
So what is Brendan Rodgers doing to make these guys?
First off, probably speaking intelligible English is one of the things, because when I hear that dude talk in the press conferences, I'm like, I can kind of see why some of them wouldn't be able to understand what he's trying to tell them, because that people worry about it being like some hateful thing, but you need to be able to understand your coach, and if he's not.
But every time you see him speak, it's after a loss, and it's very emotional.
So you think that's fucking his English up?
It's definitely easy to talk when you haven't lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess, yeah.
But to interview somebody with bad English in English after a loss is not helping his look at all. At all. It's not a good look.
Oh man. But that's why I'm like, I was one of those like give him to the end of the season, but now I'm starting to lean towards maybe like if something doesn't change by the beginning of the transfer window.
You guys are 6.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, like, look at how far off we are from 4th already. And look at how much better the teams above us look.
But the teams,
like even Chelsea, where all of their players are like teenagers.
Yeah, like, but those we'll get to Chelsea. Yeah. Chelsea has the personnel to be where they are. They just do. They have the personnel to be where they are.
Arsenal has the same level of personnel. I'll say our personnel is better.
You don't have the defense.
Yeah.
And the defensive depth that we could go through Chelsea's defense and you don't have one of these guys.
But our attack is better.
They had
than
so much
attack.
defense. They gave you one of their defenders for $8 million. Sorry, attackers.
Yeah.
And they no sweat.
Oh man.
So first of all, they have defense. Defense is important. Like even in my mind, sometimes I blank out how important defenders having a good, which is the one thing Man U has is a good defense. And we only need 2. If we had 2 more players attacking, we'll get to that. 2 more attacking midfielders, we would be in the top 4 for sure.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, if you have Pogba healthy and add 2 creative midfielders with pace.
He's healthy.
No, I've seen him with the cast on.
Yeah?
He's not healthy.
Oh no?
Yeah, he's got a cast on.
I feel like
he broke something. He wouldn't even play that game. He's got the Euros coming up.
Yeah.
He's not trying to, he's trying to play. So where do we go next? You didn't talk much about Leicester, but I guess we talked enough about them.
They're a better team. That's the sad thing about it. They're a better team than Arsenal right now.
All right, let's go to Manchester United, Brighton Hove. I don't know if you saw that game. I saw it, and we won 3-1. And there's a few things about this game.
Let me see your formation you put in there.
Formation.
Yeah.
Let me go to it.
Just a bunch of trash, probably.
Wow. You know we won, right?
I know you did, but I know y'all team is still trash. It was Brighton. Calm down.
Listen, man, you can't beat...
Yeah, we can't beat Norwich right now.
You can't beat a lot of...
regular-ass teams.
See lineups. Oh, this thing is not showing it.
No.
Let's see it on that one. Do they have a...
I can figure it out from that.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses today. I got a new gear.
Ain't your old ass.
So we played a 4.
Scroll down.
2-3-1. Is that us up top or
no? That's you on the left.
We're on the bottom. So we played a 4-4-1.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1 is that top one.
And that's
scroll down a little.
That's Brighton Hove.
You guys are on top.
Yeah, thank you. So that's what we played.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about this game. Thank you. That was my bad eyes are good. There's the thing about this game. Sheffield, we played Sheffield, right? Or Brighton Hove.
Brighton.
Why is this thing showing me Sheffield? Oh, this one is coming up. All right, so I'm pressing. So we played Brighton Hove. Brighton Hove.
Yeah.
Very disrespectful team. They came to Old Trafford and they looked at our record and like, we're above Manchester United at the table.
Yeah.
We're better than them.
Probably.
So we're going to come here and attack them at Old Trafford. And Man United loves to be attacked.
Yeah.
Because if you sit behind the ball
it's harder.
And wait for us to attack you, we can't do shit.
Especially with the guys you got,
Right. But this team, they're like, we want to get this famous win at Manchester United. And they played right into our hands. And we like, so you want us to counter and carve you apart. Thank you. We appreciate that. Here's the ball. Here's the ball again. And we'll just wait for you to lose it. And we'll counter on you.
No.
And James did his thing. And Pereira scored an ugly accidental goal, but we'll take it. I think he had a good game. I've listened to people's reports on the game, and they graded some of the players. I think Pereira did a lot better than people gave him credit for. I saw Fred showed up. This is like a frustrating guy to have on your team.
Yeah, the whole team is frustrating. I'm looking at it. It's just except for David De Gea, that team is just trash. It's just such garbage.
Listen, David De Gea is not having the greatest season.
I know he's not, but I think it's one of those that's like he's David De Gea is like
he's good in name.
No. David De Gea is a world class goalkeeper. But
he's not starting for Spain.
The problem is that it's just trash. And when you're on a team that's trash, just like Pogba, you just kind of lose. You get tired of trying so hard for people that are going to lose the game for you anyway.
Well,
you get
we're not trash. We're mediocre.
Y'all are trash.
We're mediocre. We're a mid-table team. We're not trash. You are just 6, and you're calling your team trash
because they are.
No, you're just.
That's the Arsenal standard. I know Man U is used to being mediocre. So.
No, you're being dishonest. You're being completely dishonest.
The Arsenal standard is at least
below Man U's. It is.
No.
Factually,
no.
statistically,
of late, no.
Of late,
if you're gonna go,
you haven't won
for
anything
all time. But I'm saying we've been better than you for the last few years.
What? So you finished a position 3 years ago? We finished second. Where were you? Exactly. So what's this of late? Which of late? You talking about
and
this,
2 years ago?
This
you
week?
said 3 years ago?
Yeah. So
2 years ago.
last year,
2 years ago, and
last year we both finished in Europa League spots.
Yeah.
So where is this?
We made it further than your Europa League final.
No, last year you were in the Europa League. We were in the Champions League.
No.
Yes, yeah. Last season, and you went to the finals against Chelsea.
But didn't you guys drop into the Europa League?
I'm not sure, but we were in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just by the skin of your teeth.
I mean, it doesn't even matter. I'm just saying this recently thing you're talking. I think you just need to watch the whole. That's why I say you should watch the whole Premiership and not just Arsenal, because then you could say stuff like that. That doesn't make any sense.
No. Because my brother is a Man U. Two of my brothers are Man U fan. I know a lot about Man U, and
right.
it's trash.
It's not trash. It's mediocre.
Yeah, it's mediocre.
It's mediocre, and it's unacceptable because of the standard. And I understand when you say Arsenal's trash, but you're not. It's not.
Now you understand.
But again, you're right now. You're sixth.
Yeah.
So it's not.
But
it's not that bad.
That when you when you talk about it as a function of what these teams are making, their spending power, their control over the
you got money in the bank,
yeah,
right?
They
why
do,
you
but
tripping?
no, because the guy, what's his name, the owners, the Cronkies, they're kind of stingy. They're the only ones still trying to do the old school Premier League football to where we're gonna bring our young guys through the academy. We don't have to buy anybody.
But you should. It's working for Chelsea.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that's working because. It's like they're forced to do it. So yeah, it's working for them right now. If they went into a bad run of form, a bad run of games, all of a sudden
like they're going right now. You talking like Arsenal is doing right now?
Yeah.
Well, let me listen.
And they're gonna buy in the January transfer window. They're talking about Chelsea. They're talking about getting what's his name, Crystal Palace guy, Zaha. Yeah.
Nah, I think that's a terrible mistake on their part.
Why? You don't like Zaha?
They have attackers.
Yeah.
And they're young. And Zaha is inconsistent.
Can they last though? Is the thing.
Yeah, because their players are just going to get better. They just need the time. Like I don't think Zaha.
I think everybody's getting hyped on Chelsea right now because they're on this 6-game win streak.
Well, let's go back to Man U. Let's go back to Man U. You like to go off, and I like to go off too. But we're gonna get to Chelsea. That's why I don't want to go off on Chelsea.
Let's talk to Man U.
So it's just to talk about Man U. We have to talk about disrespectful Brighton Hove coming up to Old Trafford and talking about they're gonna attack us. You motherfuckers should have just sat back, circled your wagons, and you probably could have left with a draw and pissed off Man United fans over the break. But instead, you opened yourself up, you loaded up, your attack, and we just had to we can make 2 passes. It's 3 we can't make. Yeah. So all we got to do is make 2 passes to get a shot on goal. We will get that shot on goal. And you gave us that opportunity numerous times. So it's the best game I've seen Man United play in a while. Fred, listen, I hope the next time I see Fred, he continues to build on this performance. But this is like the second good game I've seen Fred have overall for Man U. Now, we have to play him because we don't have anybody better and we have injuries. So to be fair, he's never had a consistent run. So hopefully Pogba being injured and him having to play is helping him learn the league and become a better player. So he made forward passes. It wasn't just side to side. And he made some confident turns. And we did beat a team that was higher than us in the table at the time.
This is Brighton.
So it's Brighton, but they still were ahead of us. Yeah. Like last week, we lost to Bournemouth. So we've lost to Newcastle. We've lost to Crystal Palace. Or maybe Southampton. Some shit with stripes. Listen, man, we've lost some games. So I can't take any team for granted because we are point droppers.
Honestly, I kind of agree with you with our situation too. They're honestly both our teams and Tottenham too are just kind of just in this weird space to where
it's and that's another thing
that teams like Brighton and stuff like that know they can come to your place and actually try and play.
But I see our issues. Like I can tell you where we need to improve.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you where you need to improve.
Yeah.
Tottenham is some other shit.
No, Tottenham. I heard some stuff that apparently.
So let's get to that and talk about that, because I've mentioned some of that stuff. I think it's the same stuff. So I'll ask you what that is.
Yeah.
So I just want to give out Brandon Williams, the white kid with the black name, who's playing at left back. Like, start this guy. Yeah. I want to thank Ashley Young for making the mistake of getting suspended last week so that we had to play Brandon. And this guy seems willing, able, and has full confidence in himself. And we should continue to start this kid. And I don't know, they're going to put Ashley Young back in there, but Brandon Williams just seems way better.
I feel like Ashley Young can play. Doesn't he play other positions for you guys too? Like, bro, he plays center
don't
back.
Don't suggest anything. And listen, man, I don't want to be completely disrespectful to Ashley Young. Yeah. But it's the Brandon Williams era. Let this shit start. Yeah. You know, like Ashley Young is definitely limited. He shouldn't be our captain. In another era of Man United football, he should, and he's also older, so he's playing his age too. So it's just like this: Lindelof, Maguire, Brandon Williams, Wan-Bissaka, Shaw's coming back from an injury soon. We should have a decent, solid defense. You know what I mean? That we should.
I wouldn't say solid, but I don't know.
It's solid enough. With Wan-Bissaka on one side, Shaw or Brandon Williams on another side, Maguire, who's on the English squad, and I've seen him do good in the World Cup. Lindelof, you know, he's trying. Like, that's probably a point. But I've seen worse defenders on some championship teams. Yeah. So I think and De Gea in goal, like, this is a better defense than Arsenal for sure. Yes. Yeah. No question.
Yeah. Well, this is assuming that Tierney and Bellerin aren't playing and healthy.
Even with Bellerin, he goes forward too much. I don't know how great of a defender he really is.
He's not super great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, if he can get you some goals, that's
how about stop you some goals?
That's the thing. That's not the thing. Arsenal doesn't specialize in that, unfortunately.
All right. McTominay had a good game. I think I said Pereira. And Daniel James, what I'm liking about him when he gets forward and his crosses are lethal. Like in the beginning of the season, he scored some goals when we needed them. And I was like, oh, shit. But now he's finding Rashford or Martial on a pinpoint level that are giving him great opportunities to score goals. And Rashford missed a wide open half a goal in front of him off a pinpoint. Like, James just knows when to, and he's learning this thing. So it's a great skill. He's very lethal. And Martial coming back, we played so many games without Martial, and Rashford looked like lost out there as the 9.
Yeah, he's not ready to be the focal point of an attack.
But you need a partner. Yeah. And these two have been, as for young as they are, they've been on this team for longer than probably, if you look at the lineup, anybody else. So they have chemistry. You know, these two guys have been through 3 coaches, you know?
Yeah.
So,
gosh, and it was just not even that long ago that Martial got there.
Yeah, so these guys have been through 3 coaches, so they have chemistry. So they find each other, they pass to each other, they like each other. And so when Martial being back has helped us get results. So it's not, I know everybody was mad when we were losing and drawing, right? But we didn't have Martial. And you need personnel, and you're like, oh man, our coach sucks. But our coach might not be the greatest, but not having a partner for Rashford like we do now since Martial is back helps. So,
are you unhappy with Solskjaer now?
I've been unhappy with how
after the big explosion when he first came on the scene.
No, I was unhappy this year, just some of the results and how we looked. We looked a mess. Yeah. We didn't look like, you know, we just, if you see these games, you're like, that's Man U. We have games that have 1 shot on goal and it was a penalty.
Yeah. It was just very poor attacking, like very poor creativity coming out of that team right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of our issues are mirroring each other, except you guys. Our attack is way better than yours. Way better. Mm-hmm. But our defense is way worse. Is worse.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially because, I mean,
your defense
is
as bad as our attack when we have no Pogba and Martial is out. That's what your defense is like.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's the issue.
I'll concede that one.
Yeah. It's not a contest. It's just a discussion. You're in a competition with the wrong person. We're just having a friendly discussion. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. We'll do this and then we'll go to Spurs.
Okay.
So Chelsea beats Crystal Palace 2-0, and the kids... Like, I think this is the youngest Chelsea team that's ever been on the field.
Well, I think they said the average age was like 24 or something like that.
Right.
Maybe younger. Like, it's... And
that sounds old.
Yeah. It's like, man, the team is like so young, but it's like when you're you're seeing them perform as a unit. Lampard was able to get them all on one page. Mm-hmm. Why can't this happen with Unai? But only God knows. But... Better. They definitely have
personnel.
They definitely have better personnel. Well, they have better personnel behind the attacking third. In front of the attacking third, I would put Aubameyang against Abraham. I would put Pepe up against Pulisic.
You say that, but does Aubameyang have more goals than Abraham this season?
No, but once again,
Abraham is like 10.
We're 11 games in. It's like we're not even a third of the way.
But this is what we're talking the present.
Yeah.
We're talking the present. Mm-hmm. Like, I know Aubameyang is a solid goal scorer, but in the present now, there's this guy, Tammy Abraham, has around like 10. Do you think
that Tammy Abraham is getting better service than Aubameyang is?
Yeah.
Exactly. And do you?
But I didn't disagree with that.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I think Aubameyang is getting decent service. It's the only thing you guys are good at. No. Aubameyang missed some goals, at least 2 opportunities. He's missed some opportunities. Last game,
he's missed some opportunities. Yeah. But in terms of service, no, Aubameyang is definitely not getting the service that he could get more goals if he had better service, which is part of the reason why they started bringing Ozil back, because they had to finally admit that having one shot on target against Victoria or whatever.
But your guys' problem, Arsenal's problem, you try to force a Pepe in the mix when you already have a Lacazette.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can work together. I think they work together. I think they could be that kind of triumvirate that Liverpool has going.
But you have to, like Liverpool.
They just need to be coached better.
No, this is the issue. Like, you guys are in a good spot. You have the same issue that Liverpool had when Klopp first got there. Remember? Score a lot of goals, concede a lot of goals, and therefore, Klopp's first season, where did they finish? I can't remember, but it might not have been top 4. I know they went to the Europa League finals because before they fired, who did they fire to hire Klopp? They were in the running for it, and then they lost to Unai Emery in the Europa League finnos.
Yeah, so who was there before Klopp? I don't even remember.
I can't remember.
It wasn't Rodgers.
It wasn't Rodgers. It was a guy they used to replace Rodgers.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, we could look it up, and people get mad when we don't look shit up. But it's not important. The point is, what was the point?
The point is that you think that Arsenal's in a transition phase.
I think.
Which they kind of are. 22 years of another guy.
You are in the transitions phase, but
the thing is, nobody really right now from this run of form, nobody really believes Unai is the guy that's going to get us there. Klopp is the guy that got Liverpool there, is going to get there. Right now, the way it's looking, I don't know. Maybe he just needs one more transfer window. Maybe that's what's going to change everything.
I think it's your organization.
The organization is trash.
Like the thing with Klopp is he's the right coach, and the organization's mentality is in the right place when he got there.
I agree with that completely.
And I feel for Chelsea, who we're discussing versus Crystal Palace, they have the right coach, and their transfer ban is
forcing them to see the young players,
and the coach and the organization mentality is in the right place.
with Chelsea, I would say they have a much shorter road to go because really their main problems come in were supposed to be their attacking with losing Hazard and not really replacing him, and like where
he's replaced.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's like the Pulisic is kind of stepping in now, but I want to see what he does over a 38 game season.
He just scored in 3 games in a row.
Was it 3 in a row?
Yeah, three. He scored this weekend. He scored the weekend after, and he scored 3 goals in the game before that. Right? Listen, I predicted, if you go back in other podcasts, I said that Pulisic could be as good as Hazard. Because I've seen him play for Dortmund. I've seen him play for the U.S. team. And he's a very determined individual who drives forward. Yeah. And he just needs to get comfortable and get experience in this league to know that he belongs in this league. And that's starting to happen. Yeah. So there's a reason why they bought him, and they were smart. This is a smart buy. This is when your team and your organization is thinking right. And for other teams not to buy this guy, if he was available, is kind of not dumb.
How much did they buy him for?
Well, like 50 million or 60 or something like that. Yeah. But it's definitely, by today's standards, a perfect price. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then this is him in his first 12 games for Chelsea. And he's on a team where you have to compete hard and get results while you're on the field to stay in. Yeah. So this is you're like, it's like you're cooking this meal and you add in the ingredients, and each ingredient is making the entire meal better. Yeah. So he's in that type of a kitchen right now with that type of a chef. Yeah. And then Willian, like they highlighted him on Game of the Week.
He's always been. But
he's gotten better. And then this week, Conte played for the first time in weeks. Yeah. He hasn't played. Jorginho has a suspension, and then Conte steps in. Yeah. And they had a little trouble like breaking down Crystal Palace at first, but they finally did it for Williams, like side assist to Tammy Abrams.
With Chelsea, I think they I don't know why they keep trying to play Conte out of position and play him as.
They're not now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they're better that way. I think because they're trying to shoehorn Jorginho and Conte into the team, that they're trying to get both these guys playing, so they want to play Conte further up the field with this new tactic of kind of like the club thing with having the what is it called, that German word, the something press. Oh. Jurgen press or something like that. Anyway, trying to get the attacking players to get them to lose the ball further up the field so you can immediately start attacking, and then put in a player like Conte there who has just such a huge engine to keep running at people and keep making tackles.
But I got to be honest, Jorginho has been doing some of that too. Yeah. And he's probably
I don't think
better
anybody
creatively.
does it. Well, Jorginho than Conte, right? Yeah, which is why it's surprising that they don't want to play Jorginho up the field and Conte in his natural defensive midfielder position.
Yeah, I think it's a switch off, switch on thing.
Oh, you think they alternate?
It's an interchanging thing, like with the same thing with Kovacic. But their midfield is set. This is a midfield without Jorginho, and they have Kovacic, who's doing a great job. Then you got Willian. And then, so you got these experienced players, and in front of them, Pulisic, Mount, Tammy Abrams, and if you scroll down to their subs,
Olivier,
you have where is Giroud, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Batshuayi, Azpilicueta, who's usually your captain, and then Alonso is not even on this thing. So this team has depth. Then you didn't see no Rudiger, and on this they have depth, bro.
Yeah, they definitely do. It's surprising that they have. Yeah. Oh man, they have much more upside.
Yeah.
That's assuming that
they have upside and they're delivering and they're playing consistently hard. Yeah. And they're ahead. Like last year this time, I don't think anybody was ahead of Liverpool and Man City, and now they're ahead of Man City. Right. You know?
They're ahead of Man City.
They're ahead of Man City.
I don't think they're gonna finish ahead of Man City.
I don't think so either, but they should have no problem at this point finishing in the top 4 with everything that they have. Yeah. Like they can handle a few injuries.
The only thing is I see that these goals I don't know if they're these young guys, if they're just gonna keep flowing all season long.
And you just take out Tammy Abrams and put in Hudson-Odoi. You take out Hudson-Odoi, you put in a Batshuayi.
Yeah.
You have, you haven't even seen what's his name. What's the fucking tall?
Olivier? Giroud?
There's Giroud, and then there's another guy, Cheeks. There's players that are not you're not even seeing right here that they have. And then Reece James, just out of, I singled him out a few weeks ago, or maybe last week. I said, this guy, I've seen him come in a few times, and he wants it, and he's got skill.
Yeah.
And he started, and he was highlighted on Match of the Day. Like, he's brand new. And he looks like he belongs there.
It's great. It looks great now. It looks great now.
Where's the reason for your skepticism?
No, because I'm always thinking 38 game season, because everybody gets all hot and all, like, same thing with Arsenal last year having 20 game win streak or whatever. It's cool to get hot and everything. But, man, those goals are going to dry up eventually. I don't see Tammy Abrams just continuing scoring the whole season.
Yeah, but then you're throwing Batshuayi, Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, but once again, these are guys that haven't had 20-game seasons before.
But they're not going to have 20-game seasons because they're going to be coming in and supplying a breather.
Yeah.
And they're going to come in fresh.
Yeah, they supply a breather.
And they're going to be relishing the competition so that they can be on the starting sheet. It's a perfect kitchen.
Yeah, it makes there's good competition, but part of the thing with strikers too is strikers need to be able to have confidence and get into a rhythm. When you take them out or you sit them, that kind of breaks their rhythm, breaks their confidence, and that can affect their goal output.
I mean, Origi, with barely any playing time, did a lot of stuff when he came in.
He did.
And so I feel like Batshuayi is kind of an Origi type.
Because they've
had similar
Belgium, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both kind of
Belgium.
they're Belgium, and they have similar, like
Belgian.
Yeah, Belgian, and they've been used in similar ways.
Yeah.
So and the backup and the playing trajectory has kind of been the same. So I think if you put Batshuayi in, he'll start scoring. There's goals there, bro. There's goals because there's service there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree that there definitely is a level of service that the team has.
Yeah, they have a good phone carrier. Their calls will connect. You know what I mean?
Hopefully. Not hopefully. I hope they don't.
You're not even in their league, so don't even worry about it. You could hope for them.
We could catch up.
You're not. You can't. You can't.
Man, 38 games, man.
Yeah, and 12 of them are gone already. You can't. You don't have the personnel. You don't have the personnel sway. You don't.
Yeah. Actually, our team is getting healthier. So who knows? Holding might start playing better.
Hilarious. Chelsea versus Sheffield United. This is a game.
No, Sheffield United versus Tottenham.
Tottenham versus Sheffield United.
Yeah.
This is a game Sheffield United should have won. One of their goals got
like a VAR call.
A VAR toenail call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like clip your toenails, players, because these people
they're going hard.
They're going hard.
They're playing no games.
They are looking for that milliliter of thing. So they love drawing that line.
Yeah.
And confusing the shit out of people.
Because the thing is, with the offside, it's supposed to be like with a goal scoring body part or whatever. And it's just kind of confusing with the way they draw that line and to how they're deciding which ones to call, which ones to... How do you feel like VAR has done this? The guy that made it said that it gets a 7 out of 10, that he's excited about
because
how well
he
it's done.
made it.
Exactly.
But the way it's been applied is not great.
Doesn't make much sense to me.
All right. It as a system, it makes sense, but it's human error.
Yeah.
Again, the same human error that created the demand for VAR is the same ones judging it or making the calls on it, and they are ruining VAR. Yeah. It's almost like VAR is being set up to fail. Like, oh, you're gonna replace us with computers? We're gonna show you
that we don't know how to use computers.
Oh, we're gonna be so nerdy about it that we're gonna be like, see this line right here?
Yeah.
So that's why this person is offside. His cold breath crossed the line. He shouldn't have breathed because then his breath is offline.
It was ridiculous. It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yes, with the Tottenham.
Yeah.
Now,
Let me hear your Tottenham gossip.
So yeah. We're gonna turn it into like a
Aaron, you ready for
a tabloid?
Aaron, you ready for some Tottenham gossip?
Yeah.
You want to hear this?
Yeah.
Let's hear what's going on.
So apparently, I heard from the grapevine that apparently.
Why are you using this gossip voice?
Yeah.
Apparently, I heard your tone changes.
It'll be a segment on your show, gossip.
Tottenham gossip from an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm so happy I get to spread this. Okay.
So go ahead, spread these nasty, vicious rumors.
So apparently, Jan Vertonghen was caught with Eriksen's wife, and apparently he had relations with her, and he has carnal knowledge of her now, and that is why the main playmaker on the Premier League team Tottenham, the main playmaker Eriksen is in a funk. He can't get around the fact that maybe his defender teammate might have smashed his wife.
It wasn't much of a defender. Scored on his wife.
Yeah,
his defender. But we've spoken about that rumor on the show.
Yeah.
Like somebody in England told me that rumor. Who told you this rumor?
No, I saw it online, but the things that kind of made it seem like maybe there's corroboration of it. It was one of those
results.
Yeah, the results, The team just seems in disarray. But also, did you see when like there was a bust up in Tottenham and Jan Vertonghen came out with a black eye? He came out to the pitch with a black eye.
Right.
So that's not something that's made up. You see the black eye, and you see
where did it come from?
Yeah, exactly. And then also with the kind of the way Eriksen's been treated lately, with like they're benching him sometimes.
But they're treating him like he slept with Vertonghen's
That's
wife.
the thing.
Like why?
Because I think he might have been the one that went at Vertonghen's head with that and gave him that black eye.
He was justified.
Yeah, he's justified.
So why
but it's still assault. You know.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations to where everybody gets why he did it, but they might still bench him because also they said that maybe he was wanting to go to Real, so there's kind of disarray there.
Did he want to go to Real before Vertonghen scored?
I think he would have liked to.
Wife?
I think he would have liked to, but I think that kind of solidified it. And honestly, I normally don't take much stock in rumors, but when you saw the black eye and you saw how the benching situation has been going with arguably their best like midfield player. Not arguably, they're definitely their best midfield player. And then you saw that, and you just see the results to where it's like Tottenham is having Gunners type problems to where they're not closing out games where they normally would close. You know, so it's just weird. There's a lot of bad juju going on over there at the new Tottenham Stadium. Even when
I saw like the press conference and Pochettino talking about the end of the game, what he said didn't make any sense. He sounded like a coach. He's like, we're getting better. And it's like, you shouldn't be getting better. You are the runners-up in Europe.
Yeah.
You have a team that is not old, that is
they have a good
in their
team.
prime, and then you add it to it, and you have depth.
Yeah.
What is this getting better shit? So something is something
going on, which is why I think that maybe
I think I kind of believe that rumor too.
Yeah.
But because this doesn't make any sense.
Tottenham fans, look at yourselves. Look at yourselves. Dirty, filthy people.
You look at you enjoying the possibility of this. Yeah.
Look at my team. This is all I can enjoy. It's happy. I love to hear trouble at White Hart Lane. I guess it's not White Hart Lane. What is it now? The new one?
I forgot the name of it.
Anyway, either stadium, it seems to be haunted because you guys...
Brand new stadium is haunted.
Yeah, exactly.
They're in 14th place, man.
Yeah,
they have 14 points.
Oh, Tottenham.
And they have this team that
you were the Champions League last year.
Yeah, Champions League
Pochettino might leave now. That's what's the new talk. Like he might go somewhere else. He should. He's done a lot with that team.
You're just a hater, bro.
Yeah, I am. I would like that guy. I would like that guy as our new coach.
Yeah, he'd be good for anybody.
Yeah.
Especially Man U.
You guys. I thought Solskjaer was the guy.
Yeah, Solskjaer is the guy unless you can definitely do better.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I was like, if you have a championship mentality, right? You have a championship mentality.
When you say championship, do you mean winning the Premier League, or do you mean the championship, like the league under the Premier League? Because that's confusing when you say that.
Oh, well, the championship, when you're a Man U fan who's won championships, we mean the Premier League.
Well, they wouldn't call it a championship; they call it a title.
No, just a championship mentality, meaning, you're a winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're a winner, you make the calls. Yeah. Like last year, Aston Villa, they were doing fine. Yeah. And in the middle of the season, they called an audible, fired Bruce, and hired Dean Smith, the coach that they have now. And then and Bruce, the year before, got them to the playoffs. And then they fired him, got this new coach, and made it back to the playoffs and made it to the Premiership. Yeah. Like, now we know they're in the Premiership, and them firing Bruce was the right thing to do. And it's also a risky thing to do, but it's like, we're going to make this move because we think it'll make us this degree better. Yeah. And that's what you have to do when the mentality of your organization is about winning. Yeah. Like Solskjaer probably in 2 years could get us to where we want to, because he'll learn some stuff along the way. But then if you can get somebody that can definitely do it.
Who would you want?
I never wanted Pochettino before, but I could see where he would help us. Sooner than, and I don't think the results that are happening or not happening at Spurs are indicative of his coaching.
I don't think it's reflective
this feels
of him
like
at all. It's something else.
Something else that has fallen apart or imploded.
Oh, what is going on
from the inside?
At White Hart
and
Lane?
There's nothing he can do. That's why nobody's talking about firing him. There's if you're 14th, like last year when we were around this, when we came second the year before, they fired Mourinho. Yeah. Like, I don't hear this firing of Pochettino talk because I think everybody knows. Yeah. Whatever this is,
it's not him.
It's not him.
Yeah. Yeah. Mourinho, like the players stopped playing for him. You see, it's like Spurs.
It's funny. The players stopped playing for him, but we were higher in the league last year than we are. Well, we have more points than when last year at this time. Than we have now. Oh, so everything is just, but we also weren't rebuilding. When you hire Mourinho, it's not for rebuilding, it's for to win. Yeah. And so he got fired for not doing what he was hired to do. Now Solskjaer has less points, but he's doing what he was hired to do, which is to rebuild. And there's a certain point or a threshold where if Solskjaer in the next transfer window or two doesn't start achieving things, and the expectations of him are higher, then definitely. Yeah. You know?
I don't know, your team just does not look that good. I
agree with you. Yeah. You sound as if you're wondering why. Yeah. I can point to all the reasons why. There's no we don't have enough attacking, mature midfielders to go with our youth. Like when we look at Chelsea, you have let's say Kovacic, but definitely Jorginho, Willian, and Conte. There's the experience mixed in with the youth to gel the youth together to make a strong bond, to make some shit work. We don't have like that, and those guys run and they pass good. They're great in tight spaces.
They work for it.
Tammy Abrams is going to get chances. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they can attack you and win games in more than one way. We can only win games in one way because we don't have the creativity to do it. Yeah. And there's games that we drew or lost because if we'd had the creativity and the right personnel with the right creativity in the midfield, we could have won those games. We could be higher up in the table. Yeah. You know what I mean? It can't just be somebody with creativity because we see what Ozil does. It has to be like some determined individuals with creativity who want to win.
It has to be balanced. And
it has to be the right type of players.
Like what Ozil lacks is like he doesn't have that hunger he has that hunger to get that assist or score, but never to win the game. Like he's very different from like a Silva on Man City, to where Silva creates for the team, but if Man City isn't playing well, if they don't have the ball, he's gonna run after people and harrow them down to get the ball. And even if he doesn't get it, at least the other people on his team
that's
around him.
That's just who Ozil is, because Mourinho made him cry when he's at Real Madrid because of the same thing. Yeah. So he's always been that way. Yeah. Some players will change and adapt to the coach, and some people he just refuses.
Yeah, he never did. Right. And it's crazy because nobody can deliver.
Yes,
even up to now,
there are players who can deliver better than him, and they're playing on other teams.
Ball? Ball.
Silva can do it. De Bruyne can do it.
De Bruyne,
Sterling can do it. I can name a ton of players. So that's why you better do it.
Sterling is. Oh, you talking about going back and like defending and stuff?
Doing both, delivering and doing both. Yeah. Like there's like Liverpool has a bunch of players that'll do it.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is delivering that final ball.
Yeah.
That final ball. Who can deliver it at the level Ozil can on his day?
De Bruyne,
Bernardo
Silva.
Chill. No, he's
David Silva.
No.
Yeah. I can name him, man.
Not
Jorginho.
I'm saying these type of passes that nobody else sees.
No, they're all over the league, bro. You know, there's players like that that's why Ozil has to adapt, but he's so late in his career.
Yeah, he's not gonna adapt. He's like an old dog, new tricks type of deal at this point.
Yeah, he don't fuck with new tricks
at all.
Yeah,
at all.
Give me my regular treats. Yeah, and that's it.
Same old.
Let me just mention some teams. Aston Villa lost to Wolves. Wolves played better.
Wolves is like, that's that team that is like home or away. That team is not a joke to play against.
Well,
once again, well-drilled team.
Yeah, but I think you're going a lot off what they did last season. This season, they're
good this season too.
Nah.
What do you mean? They've won games they've won games in the Europa League. They're like,
yeah, but they're not doing as good. They're 8th, so they're not bad, but they're not doing. I mean, they're fine, right? They're fine, but
they've played like a lot of hard games too. They've played Arsenal. I'm trying to think which other of the top 6 they've played. They took points off of was it who did they beat? I think
they drew to Southampton. They drew with Newcastle, and they drew without Arsenal, which is a good draw. Yeah. But
who did they beat last? Who was that last person they beat?
Man
City.
They beat Aston Villa.
Was that Man City?
Nah. They beat Man City.
Yeah, they beat Man City 2-0. Right. That team is nothing to play with.
But they're not. It's not as good of a season
because they have a few draws at 12 games.
But if you go back, they've lost some shit. They've lost a step, but it's because of the Europa League. It's kind of wearing them out. Yeah. They've played over 20-something games this season already.
Yeah, because they had to play the early stages of the Europa League.
But they're getting better. The thing is, they reorganize their team. Yeah. And Adama Traore, right? Mm-hmm. You know this guy? This guy, did you see the movie Birdcage?
Birdcage.
The movie is Birdcage, a Netflix movie with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
And it's a big hit. It's a horror movie.
What's
it called?
It's called Birdcage.
Bird Box. My bad. Thanks, Aaron.
Birdcage.
Thanks, Aaron Brown. So, Aaron, let me tell you the type of player that Traore Adama is. So, Bird Box, right? Aaron, tell me what was the threat in Bird Box?
You mean what was attacking him?
Yes.
No idea.
No idea.
Still don't know.
You still don't? Well, the idea is your worst fear is attacking you, right? So whoever you are.
That's more it.
That's more it.
Bird Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bird Box
they don't see it.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
But like you start staring at this thing, and it turns into your worst nightmare. So it's like a customized terror that affects you, that makes you either commit suicide or kill yourself because you're that frightened. And Adama Traore, if you're a defender, he's your Bird Box. You see that motherfucker coming at you, and you have no choice.
That's a hell of a setup
to commit suicide. It is a hell of a setup. But there's 2 players in the league, right? Yeah. Saint Maximum on Newcastle, and this guy. Listen, it's what they will do to you.
Well,
you will be on a highlight reel, but it won't be yours. You know what I mean? You're guaranteed.
Dunk in your face.
Yeah, these dudes are literally dunking. In this game against Aston Villa, you see this picture?
Yeah.
That is Luis Douglas. Douglas Luis. This is a foul.
Yeah.
This is a foul, he brushed off this foul and kept going. Douglas Luiz is off the field because he's trying to shove him out.
Yeah.
And this guy is such a bruiser and a speedster. He just took it. It was like, you ever like brush a fly off?
Yeah.
He did that and went past him.
Too much power, too much
pace, too much control, and then crossed the ball in, and his teammate scored. And it's like, and this should have been. This is if you take the yellow card. Like I spoke to my homeboy, who's an Aston Villa fan. He's like, he's like, hey man, that guy they should have left him at Wolves, and he should be walking back for not fouling. Traore. like you take the yellow, take the yellow, or else. If you don't take the yellow, the professional foul, then your coach should red card you and put you on the bench for 3 games. You know what I'm saying?
A player is always gonna think he can take somebody down and is gonna think that he can stop him. But
this is a foul. Look, see the legs?
Yeah,
that's a foul that he brushed off. He brushed off a yellow card tackle from an opposing team.
Because when we played him, he wasn't even the guy that I would say was tormenting us. He was the other guy, the
Neves.
No, the guy on the left wing, the left or the left.
Let me see the squad.
Graham something. But dude had his feet were quick as hell, and it was just like pretty much every cross was coming through that dude.
Let me go to where is this thing?
Is that Januzaj? That's a Januzaj scored the other goal?
No, it was let me see. Ruben Neves and Raul Jimenez. But Neves Jimenez scored a second goal, but Neves is a big bruiser too. And so what were you asking me?
Their left go.
Oh, okay, you want to
No, what's the president?
So maybe they didn't. Maybe they started somebody else.
I don't think he played this game. It was that dude on the left wing that was just running through Arsenal players and just setting in every cross. Then you could just tell they're eventually going to score from that.
Yeah, well, Adama's a dude you need to. And here's the thing. Like, this lineup that they showed with Wolves right now doesn't look accurate because I feel like I've seen them take Adama Traore. You remember Moses from Chelsea?
Yeah.
And remember, he's like an average player.
Yeah, then he became the wing back from hell.
And then wing back from hell. Yeah. So I think that's what they line up like this, but he's really a wing back. Yeah. So they're really playing 3. They're really playing a 5.
Right.
Or at least they're really playing a 5 defense. So you're wing back and wing forward.
Right.
So then he's got the pace to stop anybody from going forward on his team, right. And then he's coming up. So then now he's coming to his own. Like, he's created so many chances that weren't scored.
Real chances.
And he's had 20 more successful dribbles in the league since Hazard, or more than or like he's had than any player.
Oh yeah.
So he was a young player. This Aston Villa is actually his
more than Zaha?
Old team. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Zaha.
He's so inconsistent.
This year.
Yeah. But this kid is now finally figured it out. He's being coached right. He wants it. And he's gone from team to team. He's on another team. But he was with Wolves last year, but he'd come off the bench. Now he's starting, and they're making use of all his talents. And he's got called up to Spain's international squad for this break. And it's like, man, you don't want this bird box. They should just nickname
that
him Bird
metaphor
Box.
was hell of a journey,
hey,
bro.
Man, that's not my fault. You didn't see the movie.
I
saw
to the
Bird
Box and
before you come here,
bro. I saw Bird Box and I read the script. Yeah. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't in either that you just said.
All right. I guess we got different interpretations of Bird Box.
That's what you gonna call it?
Yeah. There's nothing else to call it. That's how I'm going to respectfully call it. Newcastle beat Bournemouth, which is a big game for them.
I've always liked Bournemouth because they're the team that came up that is like they don't care whether it's Anfield or whether it's their home stadium. They're gonna play.
Yeah, they'll
football.
attack you.
They'll go at you. And then that Callum Wilson guy is constantly getting scouted by the big teams because he's one of those guys that seems to be, if he had better service, he'd be getting like a 20 goal a season type of guy.
I mean, Bournemouth usually goes for it, but they're trying to get more defensive recently because they realize they give up a lot of goals.
Yeah.
But like Newcastle with St. Maximum, like he's the guy that comes out, and then they have Almiron. Almiron and St. Maximum haven't scored, but they will come at you. They will drive at you. And when those guys start scoring, the goals they got, Newcastle got this week were from their defenders. And Steve Bruce, who's like a journeyman coach, you call him in to save your team from getting relegated. He's not really respected. He's only respected if you're the team that doesn't want to get relegated. And when
Steve Bruce, he's a mercenary.
Yeah, I mean, like a low, like a blue collar mercenary.
He's what's the other guy? Big Sam Allardyce is another one of those.
He's an Allardyce.
Yeah, exactly. He would just there's a bunch. He's been on like every team.
But they're doing really good.
Yeah,
they're doing good for them. Like, where are they in the table? Newcastle Newcastle
just got off bottom, didn't they?
Let's see. They're
13th?
13th. For a team that was slated to be 15th.
Wow.
No, 13th.
No, I'm saying 15 points.
15 points. This team was like, if you voted at the beginning of the season, who's going to be relegated? They were the team.
Yeah. They're always kind of in and about there because they've been through so many coaches. It's like Steve Bruce now. It was
Rafael
Benitez. Before that, it was the dude from Crystal Palace, the white-haired dude.
Right. Pardew.
Alan Pardew.
Yeah.
And then they just always seem to be going through coaches. It's one of those teams that it's like they have a rich history, but I think their history allows them to still dream of better days, but like their team their funds can't keep up with the way football has been played today.
Yeah, their owner is not a spender.
Exactly.
But then he does spend. So,
the spending these days have to be the spending these days have to be like those ridiculous buys. If you want to fix a thing today, like if you want to get that world class center back, that Van Dijk, you have to spend the $70 million these days.
Yeah, but they bought St. Maxim, and they finding players that are fitting into this thing, and they're 13th, and they beat Man U.
Yeah,
and now they beat Bournemouth, who beat Man U.
Yeah,
I mean we're still 7th. Like, this is a great way for us to go into the international break. I appreciate the win.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Brighton Hove helping us with this.
Brighton Hove,
Albion. Yeah. So let me just finish up. So we talked about Newcastle a little bit, finishing their thing. Liverpool, Man City. We did Leicester, Arsenal, Southampton. Loses to Everton. Everton gets a win that they need. So the pressure's on the Southampton coach who
suffered that 9-0 defeat.
Yeah, you missed that. Did you see the Chelsea game versus Ajax Champions League?
No, I think I saw the goals, but I didn't watch the actual game.
It was just crazy game. Like, they go down 4-0 or 4-1, but then there's a double sending off in one flow of play.
Oh, no, I definitely didn't see that. What happened? Why?
Ajax got 2 reds.
For what? They were arguing?
Well, one was from a tackle by Blind, who already was on a yellow.
Yeah.
But then after the referee let the play continue, Chelsea got a shot on goal, and the player
handled it.
But it's kind of like that Sterling.
Yeah.
But the ref not only gave a penalty, he gave him a red. So then you're like, so then Chelsea was able to come back against this. I think there was another sending off. I can't remember. They might have had 2 or 3 plays, so they came back to made it 4-4.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a rough game.
It's a crazy game. Definitely a roller coaster. Yeah, for both teams. So I'll just read through the tables with you to wrap this up. And there's an international break coming up next week.
Yeah.
So Liverpool's top of the table. They have 34 points, and they beat Man City. And
who do you think is going to win? I think Liverpool. I hope they do. They deserve it. I hope they do.
rooting for Liverpool since we got nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and so Leicester, crazy. Leicester, who we bought one of their best players, and he's like, why is the team that I just left in second
Yeah.
with 26 points and I'm in seventh, barely in seventh?
Dude.
You know, like that's bananas.
It's insane. Oh, man.
Chelsea is number 3. Transfer ban Chelsea is in number 3, 26 points, tied with Leicester.
Look at those 5 teams they've played. Who are those 5 teams they've played in those win streaks? Southampton, okay, not very good.
Newcastle,
not great. Okay.
Burnley,
Watford. Man, this run isn't. That run ain't shit.
Nah, man,
no, man.
These teams could beat you, man.
They could beat Arsenal, but those aren't no real hitters. Those teams are not no real hitters, dude. No.
Well,
go back. What was the 6th team?
Crystal Palace was up in the top 10 before their last 2 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they lost. Crystal Palace lost to Leicester, I think, last week, and now they lost to Chelsea this week. So Crystal Palace has played some tough teams.
I don't see any top 6 teams there, and I don't see any teams that you should be like that top 6 teams that are scared of, like Wolves or anything.
I'm a Man U fan, so I'm scared of all those teams. We just
no. I agree.
And as an Arsenal fan, you should be terrified too.
I agree.
Anyway,
but what I'm saying, but when Arsenal beats those teams, I don't think it's like, oh, well, Arsenal, we made a change.
But Chelsea also has to beat these teams.
But that's what I'm saying.
To be who they are.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like a 6-game run with those teams to me is more believable than if you had like
Newcastle can beat you.
Of course they can, because Arsenal's trash right now.
But I'm not just me. I'm just saying anybody. They can beat anybody. They just beat Bournemouth.
At home,
Burnley can beat you.
They can beat.
Listen, they beat Burnley. All right, I understand what you're saying about Burnley, but they beat Burnley 4-2. Yeah. They beat Burnley by the amount you're supposed to beat them if you're going to be a top 4 team. So that's why I believe in. It's like if they barely beat Burnley, then I'm like, they barely beat Burnley. So this is a skewed number 3 position, but they beat Burnley the way you're supposed to beat Burnley. You know?
Click on that 4-2 game.
They beat Southampton 4-1 the way you're supposed to beat Southampton.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, these are not top teams, but they beat them the way you're supposed to beat them comfortably if you're a top team.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You're right.
Right. And one thing I missed in this discussion about Liverpool versus Man City, who is 4th, the teams that Liverpool has played, Liverpool's 34 points is a higher quality 34 points than Man City's 25 points. You know what I mean by that? The Man City, the opposition that Liverpool has faced is tougher than Man City. So Man City hasn't played a lot of the top teams. Right. So their 25 points is cheaper. Yeah. Is at a cheaper cost.
Because they're beating the people that might be in relegation battles and stuff like that.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So Man City is 4th. And if you're a Man City fan, take that into consideration.
Yeah, I think
Sheffield is 5th with 17 points. And that is crazy for a team that just got promoted to be in 5th place, 17 points. And they are a problem, and they play good football. They don't give a fuck about you, and they come at you. So Sheffield United, took it to Spurs, and we have to play them next, Man United. So that's a tough game. They're above us in the table. Arsenal, number 6, 17 points. Are you really think this is that bad?
Yeah, because the thing is, I don't see how it's supposed to get better. Like I'm hoping, like this is his 2nd season coaching his team, so you think that they'll be better drilled, but they're still as confused on the field.
Do a great job in the transfer window.
In the January transfer window, teams like Arsenal, the type of players that we would need to improve are the type of players they're not going to be leaving their teams mid-season, because those type of players will be playing Champions League football and things like that. Yeah. Also, those type of players, whatever those players are, their prices get inflated like 20 million because it's Arsenal that's asking for them, or Man U that's asking for them.
We have to deal with the same problem. But so you're gonna not get better?
No, that's what I'm saying. I want them to spend the money, but the Cronkies are stingy as fuck.
Buy you spent too much money on Pepe. Buy a good defensive midfielder, and then the next transfer window get another one.
Yeah.
And try to get a good defender. And then where did Leicester get this Turkish guy? Look around. There's people out there.
They're out there, but like, who
look
knows?
for them. Stop looking for attackers.
Yeah. Tell the board that.
Yeah. Manchester United is 7th with 16 points. Wolves are 8th with 16 points. Bournemouth is 9th with 16 points. Burnley is 10th with 15 points. Brighton Hove is 11th with 15 points. Crystal Palace is 12th with 15 points. Newcastle is 13th with 15 points, like we just discussed. Spurs, that's 14th with 14 points.
Wow,
You like to hear that, right?
You guys haven't won in a while. That's crazy. It's crazy that's happening.
I know. It's in their last 5, it's a loss, draw, loss, 2 draws.
Wow.
Yeah,
so that's crazy.
Yeah, man. Extramarital affairs.
Yeah, man. Y'all need to get like a team psychologist to sort y'all out.
Or you need a team relationship expert out there. You don't need a coach. You need a marriage therapist.
Somebody just knows the rules of bro code. Like y'all here smashing each other's wives and shit. Damn, man. That what was his name? The light skinned dude of the Cavaliers smashed LeBron's mom.
Oh yeah.
Devontae West. Y'all here, Devontae West.
Is it Devontae or Delonte? Was that? Are you into basketball, Aaron?
No, I think it was Delonte.
Yeah, it's Delonte. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't think he's no longer in the league.
No, he's homeless now. That's why it was a meme or something.
Don't fuck LeBron's mom. All right.
You end up on the street.
Everton is 15th with 14 points, and West Ham United is 16th, and they lost, and it's like Pellegrini has seems like a lot of good players, and they've lost a lot of games. Or let's see, they've had 4 losses in their last 5 and a draw. They've only had 1 point in the last 5 games, so that's horrendous for a team. Like, I don't even know how they beat us. Even when they beat us, they didn't look good. And now their terrible form is catching up to them. Aston Villa, 3 losses in a row. Grealish is out. 17 points. They're in 17th place with 11 points.
What happened to Grealish?
Just injured.
That sucks.
Yeah.
He's like the talisman for that team.
Yeah. He's a very important player for them. Watford is in 18th place. They won their first game this weekend.
I don't know why that team isn't doing better. They're not great, but they have the pieces to be better.
Yeah, last season they had a great season, and this year they just fell off. So I don't know what the issue is. Maybe somebody put their penis where they shouldn't have on this team. I don't know.
Wink, Tottenham.
Go scour the internet for more rumors about Watford.
I just like rumors about Tottenham specifically.
Yeah.
Unless there's some manual ones that pop up, then I'll feed into those
Hilarious. 19th is Southampton. They are not having a good season. They have 8 points, and it's not great. And the coach is not pulling the performances out of them. And who do they play? They play you guys next.
Yeah, we play them after the break.
Yeah. So, there's a chance for you to get, if you don't get the points from them.
Against Southampton? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Emery's like, they say he's not on the brink, but I don't know with...
if he loses, if he doesn't get full points from that game, this will put him on the brink. You have to get to the brink before they can fire you.
Yeah.
So a bad game against Southampton will definitely brink him.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah. You want him on the brink, or you want him to be successful?
Like, I wish he'd be successful, but the thing is that, like, I kind of want him to not be at the same time, because I'm asking myself, do I think this is a coach that can get us to win the Premier League? Do I think this is a coach that can get us to win the Champions League? And I don't really think that's...
He can get you to win the Europa League.
Exactly. He can get me to win the B Cups. He could get us to win, like, the stuff nobody cares about, like FA Cup or, like, the Carabao or something like that. But, like... I'm saying we want the real stuff, man. Arsenal needs to make money. Hopefully they can buy some decent players.
We'll see. And Norwich is 20th. They're a newly promoted team, and they're in a newly promoted team's position in the table. Last, they got 7 points. They started out the season on fire, but that fire has definitely been doused, and they are slugging it
Such a
in the
cruel
back.
way to.
I'm just being accurate.
It's
They
been doused.
you couldn't light a cigarette with the fire they got going.
They kind of, they kind of fell
Yeah,
off.
Hey, they couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't burn anything. Just So that's the tables. Do you have anything you want to plug? You're a comic.
Hi, AJ Faji. You can find me at AJFAJI on all social media platforms. I repeat, that's AJFAJI on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram.
Text me that too.
Okay.
After the show.
Yeah, and then I have a show at the Belly Room at the Comedy Store next week, Thursday. Crack 'em up, 10 p.m.
All right.
Comedy
Cool.
Store.
And on the back, you see my website, ianedwardscomedian.com. Go there for my dates and shows, and go to my Instagram, Ian Edwards Comic, and I have a series on there called Roommates. It's a very funny series, if I do say so myself. So go there and check it out. We're on episode 16 with Paul Alaya, and on Twitter at Ian Edwards Comic also. And also on my website, you can go to my merch page and you could purchase my album,
Get that merch.
100% Half-Assed, produced by Conan. And my special Ian Talk Bill Burr presents Ian Talk is streaming at ComedyCentral.com. Aaron, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
You good? No Twitter, nothing? All right, you good? All right. Well, thank you, Aaron, for producing the show.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
Faji,
Yeah.
thanks for coming in on a weekend that Arsenal lost, and I'm
You
glad
purposely wait for one.
for sure. But that could be every weekend.
That could be every weekend right now. It's
yeah.
actually not that tight of
It's
range.
not that. I have a broad window of opportunities to invite you in here. You and
gosh.
any Spurs fan.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Such L's.
Yeah, so thank you all for watching. If you're listening to this on iTunes, leave a comment or ask a question, and we'll answer it on the show. All right, y'all. Peace.